Hello, my name is Drew Montry. I'm the Executive Director of the Michigan Farmers Market Association, and with me today is Colleen Matz, a Farm to Institution Specialist at the Center for Regional Food Systems. We are focusing on a new opportunity for local food procurement grants in Flint, Michigan. This webinar will be focused on funding that is available to support local food procurement for programs that are serving children living in the city of Flint that are affected by the water crisis. For the webinar, we are going to provide an overview of farm to school and early childhood programs, as well as focus on Michigan Farm to School's resources that can help get you started. We'll then focus on this new opportunity. We'll introduce the opportunity to you, talk about eligibility. We'll go through the application so you're familiar with what will be required, and also focus on reporting. I'm now going to turn it over to Colleen.
All right, thanks, Drew. I'd like to start out by sharing just a little bit of background on Farm to School before we dive into more specifics for this opportunity in Flint. And first, you'll see here an image from the National Farm to School Network that shows the three core elements of Farm to School: procurement, education, and school gardens. These activities reinforce each other to build and sustain lasting farm to school programs, but those of us that are with the Michigan Farm to School team focus on the procurement piece in particular. That means the process of purchasing and then using local foods in a food program that serves kids, whether it's at a school, an early childhood program, or a summer food service site. Procurement training and resources will be provided as part of this new opportunity that Drew will explain later. There are a number of opportunities that come with Farm to School, and specifically with local food procurement. Most importantly, including for this project, Farm to School can increase kids' access to local and healthy foods. It also engages the local community and supports the local economy by investing dollars in local growers, producers, and food vendors. For our farmers, Farm to School presents an expanding market opportunity. There's still more demand for local food at schools than is being directed towards that market. It can also help our farmers diversify their markets and therefore manage their risk while providing free promotion to the whole school or program community. Farm to Early Childhood is a more recent segment of Farm to School that emerged out of the National Farm to School movement. I am the Michigan State lead for the National Farm to School Network, and my colleague, Abby Harper, who is our Farm to School specialist, is engaged in the Farm to Early Child Care and Education work that is coming out of the National Farm to School Network. So again, that's a lot of words, but the Farm to Early Child Care and Education component is coming out of the National Farm to School Network, and we're doing some work here in Michigan on the ground. Farm to Early Childhood is designed to connect the youngest children to healthy local foods and contribute to developing healthy eating habits early in life. When we say Farm to Early Childhood, all types of early childhood programs are included. And you'll see here a short list, at least: migrant and tribal Head Start programs, Great Start Readiness, home daycares, public preschools, and public, private, or faith-based childcare programs are all included in this work. We at the MSU Center for Regional Food Systems have been working on Farm to School in Michigan since 2004, so we have over a decade of this work under our belts. We provide resources, technical assistance, funding opportunities, and policy education. You can find more information and sign up for our Michigan Farm to School listserv at the website URL that you see here, www.myfarmtoschool.msu.edu. Some of the resources that we've developed over the years include a suite of Michigan Farm to School step-by-step guides that are intended to help people walk through the process of getting started with Farm to School from different aspects. You'll see here a few of our first guides, and the most relevant to you is likely the guide on the right, the Purchasing Michigan Products Guide, which is intended for school food service directors and other food program providers to walk through the process of purchasing local food and getting started with that procurement piece. These are two of our most recently released guides. The Garden to Cafeteria guide on the left is intended to help provide garden produce in school and other food programs that serve kids. This is an awesome resource that we want you to know about, but on-site gardens will not be the focus of the funding for this new opportunity in Flint. So I just wanted to be sure to note that. On the right is the Farm to Early Childhood Program step-by-step guide that is intended to help early childhood food program providers link to local food. And all of these guides are accessible, free, and downloadable from our Michigan Farm to School website, again at www.myfarmtoschool.msu.edu. If you participate in this new opportunity to serve the children of Flint with Farm to School, you'll hear more from our Michigan Farm to School team from the Center for Regional Food Systems at the first training and orientation session. So now I'll pass it back to Drew to tell you more about this special opportunity that is part of our My Farm to School grant program.
Thanks, Colleen. This exciting new program that we're focusing on today will increase access to fresh fruits and vegetables for children of Flint. To introduce you to this opportunity, we are awarding one-year grants. They will be awarded on a rolling basis starting the week of July 11th, 2016. Grants are going to be made up to $2,000 to purchase and provide more local nutritious produce to food programs. For the purposes of this project, when we talk about local, we are going to be focused on grown in Michigan produce, and we're going to place a priority on those fruits and vegetables from Flint and Genesee County growers. Because this project is focused on children of Flint who have been affected by the water crisis, we are putting a priority on fruits and vegetables high in iron, calcium, or vitamin C to reduce the absorption of lead in growing children's bodies. There's a wide variety of produce that fits into this category, and we encourage you to consider items like green leafy vegetables such as spinach, kale, and collard greens, tomatoes, and there's a photo of tomatoes that are just coming into season right now, so there will be abundance of those this season. Vegetables like peppers, broccoli, potatoes, and Brussels sprouts, and fruit including peaches, strawberries, pears, and watermelon. Michigan State University Extension has put together some great resources on fighting lead with nutrition, and we encourage you to visit their website where this information was taken from to find a lot more information about fruits and vegetables that are high in iron, calcium, or vitamin C. For this project, we will not restrict where you're sourcing that product, and there are a variety of different vendor options that you could consider. We encourage you to consider Farm Direct, and our training in August will focus on helping you build these relationships if you don't already have existing relationships with local farmers. There's also area farmers markets, including the Flint Farmers Market, produce or specialty distributors, or a broadline distributor. We want this program to work with your current food programs and are leaving you opportunity in the application to describe how that works and to identify ways in which you'll be able to focus on procuring more local produce for your food programs. In terms of eligibility, we will accept only one application per site. Eligible food programs must serve children of Flint and must already be serving meals and/or snacks. Eligible food programs include summer food service program sites, early child care centers and licensed group child care homes, schools participating in the National School Lunch Program, and other programs participating in child and adult care food program. This is all spelled out clearly in the application as well, so please make sure to review the eligibility before applying and make sure that you are a good fit, you and your food service program are a good fit for this opportunity. We've mentioned already that there will be a Farm to School training with a program orientation held on Monday, August 15th from 12:30 to 4:30 at the Flint Farmers Market. We encourage you all to mark your calendars and attend this training. It is required. We also know that there will be programs that are applying for this funding that may have relationships in place and want to start procurement before this program orientation. That will be allowed, as applications will be awarded on a rolling basis, and we will work with you, if awarded, on procuring produce prior to this date. If that happens, you're still required to attend the program orientation. So please mark your calendars and plan to be there for this event. You will also be required to submit forms for a grant funding disbursement at the outset of the grant period. This will include a W-9 and an invoice. You're also going to purchase local produce that's prioritizing foods high in iron, calcium, and vitamin C. We hope that this is well understood by this point, as we've reminded you multiple times already, and have a strong focus on making sure that you're able to purchase and have access to these types of produce items for your programs. You will need to keep receipts and invoices to submit with your grant report. And so that's important to know ahead of time that that type of record keeping will be required. There will be some basic grant reporting with an initial grant report that is due on September 30th, 2016, and then a final grant report at the end of the grant period, which will be due by June 7th of 2017. In the application, we provide a project overview and go through, again, these eligibility and requirements. We ask you to fill out your contact and program information, which is basic information about the work that you're already doing. We also ask you some basic questions about program indicators. This includes food sources and products that you're already sourcing and those that you will be interested in sourcing in the event that you're awarded one of these grants. And a very basic project description. These are up to 3 pages in length to include a summary about the work that you'll do, evaluate your need and readiness, and outline your activities and timeline. After you submit an application, they will be reviewed for completeness. We will accept applications on a rolling basis and begin awarding them as we receive them, and we'll award them until all available funds have been committed. For this project, we've received $20,000 for this work, and we'll award up to $20,000 for these grants. So again, we just want to remind you that in the event you are awarded a local food procurement grant, you will also be required to submit some basic reports on these dates. So please make sure to note that this will be required in the event that you're awarded a grant. And we'll ask you to focus on local food procurement that you were able to do to expand your programming, and look at the funds that you spent toward increasing use of local foods in your programs. This project would not be possible without funding provided by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to expand Hoop Houses for Health programming in the city of Flint, and with the continued funding from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation focused on Michigan Farm to School and Hoop Houses for Health. We have a project team, in addition to Colleen and I, that are involved with this project. We ask you to reach out with any questions to our Hoop Houses for Health outreach coordinator that is based in Flint, Amy Freeman. She will be the primary point of contact and will help answer questions and respond to you as needed, and will facilitate this grant process. Thank you for joining us for this webinar focused on a new grant opportunity. We hope that you'll take this information into consideration, consider if you're eligible, and apply quickly if you are. We look forward to working with you, to receiving your applications, and to seeing you at the training on August 15th. Thank you.